looking for drama, you have options. First up is Brave New World, a sci-fi adaptation of Aldous Huxley's novel that takes you to a futuristic utopian society called New London. Peace is maintained through the prohibition of privacy, money, family, and history.
So the first thing to understand about New London is that everybody's happy. That's the number one rule. And there are certain things that people have to do and live in a certain way, very foreign to us, to achieve that.
Happiness when you're just informed that you're happy, as opposed to deeply, deeply feeling it.
And then obviously the introduction of John, it all blows up.
You know, I've been watching you people, but this place is so perfect. Why is it upside down?
What makes New London so great is the juxtaposition of the Savage Lands. Talk to me about your character and what exactly the Savage Lands are.
It's essentially this really downtrodden place where there's all the kind of human conflicts that the New Londoners are pretending they're not going through or feeling. And the funny thing with shooting the show was that like everyone wanted to be in the Savage Lands.
Why?
It's more human, I guess. It's more real.
There's got to be some weird, deeper meaning, like we all want what we can't have until we have it, then we want what we had before. I loved your scenes with Demi Moore. What was it like working with her?
It was so great. She's such an interesting person. She is so intelligent and such strong character in herself.
If you're not happy, you're nothing at all.
Why do you think the audiences and people in general are so drawn to these ideas of these perfect societies?
Speaking for myself, I'm always intrigued by alternate societies where you're called to kind of question your morals. It's almost like how much of that shallow world can you take before you start to see the cracks and you start to crack yourself.
So tell me one thing about New London that you would enjoy.
The idea of there's no such thing as kind of like currency, money, things that kind of create the wars that we have now.
A magic pill just sorts out your levels. I definitely would enjoy that, at least for a weekend.
Printable clothes is great.
I think the parties are quite fun. Maybe not so much the orgy element to it, but I do like the parties.
But at the same time, there is no such thing as family, and there's no such thing as monogamy, and I think that that's like an interesting thing, kind of like the balance or the juxtaposition of kind of going, this would be the perfect world, but is it?
Once you've binged that, move to the edge of your seat for The Capture, a dark thriller that spotlights the incredible capabilities of intelligence services with video surveillance and facial recognition, and what can happen when that power is abused. Well, first of all, I'd like to say congratulations. The show is incredible. So Ben, I'll start with you. What was your inspiration for creating this?
Part of the motivation for doing this was I thought, we're not scared of CCTV anymore. It's lost its fear factor. And what would it take for us to be afraid of it again?
It's so captivating. Ron, why do you think this idea of fake news and perception of the truth is so enthralling and so good for a thriller setting?
These guys have managed to turn reality on its ear. And when you start manipulating reality and start making you wonder, wait a minute, what is real? Is there any kind of empirical fact or truth that I can hold on to? You're messing with things that open the door for real diabolical stuff.
In the last few hours, dramatic footage has emerged online depicting a man believed to be former soldier Sean Emery attacking and abducting a woman.
This ain't real! What have you done? This ain't real! What have you done?
What was your first impression of the script?
When we auditioned, I got given the first 3 scripts, and as soon as I came out of the audition, I was like, well, I got to get this because I need to read the rest of it. I need to know what's going to happen.
The same. I read this. I'm a slow reader, and I read the 4 hours of script in maybe 2.5. I flew through it. I thought it was fantastic.
And both of you grew up in the UK, so you're used to CCTV being everywhere. But since making this, has your idea of it or your awareness of being watched changed?
I just had never really been thought about them when I was on the street before. I just never really noticed. And you're so kind of caught between feeling protected and just totally disconcerted.
Don't ever assume there isn't somebody watching you.
And is there a season 2 coming?
There is a season 2. There is, yeah.
And Ron, will you be a part of it?
Definitely. I'll answer that. He's coming back.
Brave New World and The Capture are streaming on Peacock now.